A lot of people think that you have to do something extraordinary in order to become very wealthy. On today's video, we are going to talk about how someone can invest $100,000 a year and become a multimillionaire completely passively. You don't want to miss this one. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Dr. Jonny Withananchi. I'm a successful endodontist as well as a self-made multimillionaire in real estate investing. On this channel, we teach dentists and high net worth professionals on how they too can achieve financial freedom completely passively through real estate investing. It is possible. I've taken a giant step back from my clinical practice by being an endodontist for the last 15 years. Is created a great stepping stone, allowed me a way to create a substantial amount of income that a proportion of it I can steer towards cash flowing investments. Being a doctor or being a lawyer or being an athlete for that matter will not take you to freedom. It will only give you a lot of money that's taxed heavily. But there's a better way to do it. Now, by investing in cash flowing assets, and we're going to take a doctor, a high performing doctor that can afford to invest after paying all his expenses and paying all of his living and traveling. He doesn't have any high personal debt and liabilities, and he has between 3 to 6 months of monthly expenses as reserves. Right? Those are the things, the bare minimum things you should have before you start considering investing. Now, once you start investing, say this doctor can afford to invest $100,000 a year. Now, let's just take one example. Now, this is $100,000, but I don't have enough money here to do the prop. I'm gonna break down an example and say that a dentist invests $100,000 a year in a typical syndication. Now, in a typical syndication, like a lot of the deals that we've done in the past, and obviously previous results aren't indicative or predict future results. On a $100,000 investment, you should get an equity multiple of around 2x, and we're gonna do this to keep the math simple, of 2x every 4 to 5 years. So let's say every 5 years you can double your money on investment as an assumption. Okay, we're not gonna take into effect cash flows and all of those things. We're not gonna consider that in this example. We got $100,000. Now, let's assume, because I don't have that much money here, let's assume that this is $100,000. This is $10,000, but we're gonna, for intents and purposes, we're gonna call this $100,000. So now we're gonna take a dentist. In year one, he invests $100,000, okay? He keeps working. He's a great dentist. He's great at what he does, and he earns a great amount of income. His income has even grown a little. His practice has become more profitable. He's done some more marketing schemes, etc. And he still saves up another $100,000. He finds a great suitable investment in a great market. He partners with a great sponsor, and he invests another $100,000 in year two. Year one investment, $100,000. Let's say this is cash flowing 6%, so he's making $6,000 a year from this investment. Year two, invest another $100,000 second investment that also yields about $6,000 in cash flow. So now he has this one and this one both producing $6,000 a month and $6,000 a year in cash flow, so he's making $12,000 a year of passive income. Year three, continues to be a great dentist. He goes and invests. He saves up and he invests again $100,000. Now he's making about $18,000 in passive income a year. He's invested $300,000. Year four, he invests another $100,000. Now he's getting $24,000 a year of cash flow, which is about $2,000 a month of passive income without him doing anything. He hasn't done anything fancy. He hasn't had to implement any risky strategies. He's only invested in very secure, large, multifamily real estate apartment buildings that people are living in and paying rent. Year five, he invests another $100,000. Right, he's got $500,000 invested in real estate across the country, different markets, different asset classes, all giving him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different streams of income. Year six, he invests another $100,000. But this is where the magic happens, right? We didn't take the cash flow. So this is including cash flow. This first year one, $100,000, right? The investment is sold. And with that $100,000, he doubles his money. So now he has $200,000 he made from year one from his year 1 investment. In year 6, he invests $100,000 from his active job, but then he also chooses to reinvest the $200,000 from year 1, the $100,000 that he invested, and $100,000 of profit. Now he's gonna go let this profit go work for him too. He's gonna have this money, his original money that he invested, he gets it back, and then he gets back return, his profit of another $100,000. This $100,000 is gonna be reinvested, and his profits are going to go and earn profits for him. And now he invests $300,000 in year 6. Year 6, he invests $300,000, okay? Year 7, he earns another $100,000, he invests that. But then he gets from year 2, this $100,000 has now doubled in value. So now in year 7, he's investing $300,000. Now, if you look at a 6% cash flow, 300,000. If you get a 6% cash flow, 6,000, and you're getting 18, $54,000 of cash flow now of passive income a year. So now we can see, right? By year 7, you can see the effects of compounding, right? Gonna extrapolate this a little bit further, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so now year 8, we're gonna go to year 10. Year 8, we're gonna invest another $100,000, right? That we earned from our job again, okay? Year 8. But now from year 3, there's a 100 that has now become $200,000. We reinvest the principal and the profit. So we invest another $300,000 in year 8, 6, 7, 8. Passive income has now grown to over close to $70,000 a year without doing anything. Year 9, working. I'm still working. Here's another $100,000. I made another $100,000 from my dentist is booming now. I'm a dentist for 9 years. I'm so good at what I do. Patients love me. My business booming. I'm investing another $100,000 from my business. And the $100,000 I invested in year 4 has now doubled. So now I invest another $300,000, ladies and gentlemen, in year 9. Let's do one more year. Year 10. He's still a dentist. He's invested now another $100,000, ladies and gentlemen, in year 10. His investment in year 5 has now fully matured. We sold the building. We were able to get excellent returns. The investor has doubled his money. $200,000. He reinvested in year 10, ladies and gentlemen. By year 10, we have $1.5 million of invested in real estate. We have developed passive income at 6% cash flow. I mean, sometimes higher, sometimes lower, but it can be much higher than 6. But we're using 6%, the very conservative number. On 1.5 million, that's $90,000 of passive income by year 10. And you now have over $1.5 million invested in real estate. That's in 10 years. We're gonna go just one step further, just one step little further. I just wanna show you what happens at year 15. That means if you're 30 years old, and you're 45 years old. If you're starting at 40 years old, you're only 55 years old 15 years later. If you're starting at 50, you're still only 65. Isn't 50 the new 70 or something like that? Or 60 is the new 30 or 40? I don't know. But age is a number in your head. But the point is, 15 years isn't that long of a period of time. So let's look at this example. This is year 10. This is year 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Year 11, you keep making money. Here's another $100,000 from my income, from my job, right? $100,000. But guess what? This is really magical. This is compounding. This $300,000 that you invested in year 6 has now doubled in value. Has now doubled. For a passive investor with no effort of your own other than putting the capital and partnering with the right people, it's now $600,000 in year 11. In year 11, you are investing $700,000, ladies and gentlemen. You're investing $700,000. You invest $700,000. This is worth more than some people's practice right now. So in year 11, you invest $700,000. Woo! It's getting too much right now. That's year 11. Year 12, you invest another $100,000. Right? Year 12, you invest another $100,000. But then the money from year 7 has now doubled. So now you invest $700,000 in year 12. Oh, you're working. Another $100,000 you're gonna invest. And year 8's money is doubled. You invest another $700,000. All right? Here, year 14. You're working. You don't even need to work anymore. You make so much money from real estate. Woo! Put in another 100 grand. This 300 grows, doubles to 6. You invest another 700,000 year 14. Year 15, you invest another 100 of your own money. Your 300 has grown to another 300,000. You invest another 700K. Now what do you have? 700 times 5. You have $3.5 million of real estate. You are a multi-millionaire. $3.5 million at 6% cash flow is close to $200,000 per year of income. Now, if you make $200,000 a year of passive income, which is tax advantage dollars through depreciation and all the other tax advantages of real estate, this cash flow can be pretty much income tax free. So 200K of passive income is actually equivalent to a doctor making $350,000 to $375,000 a year of active income. This is income that's coming in always, no matter what. Whether you're sleeping, whether you're eating, whether you're working, whether you're playing, whether you're dead, that income will continue to come in. Right? That's the beauty, and that's what you can pass on to children. That's the income that gives you security to step away from your job. That's what gives you true financial freedom. Is building this. Right? If you extrapolate this another 5 years, we're talking about 8-figure net worth, right? We don't have to reinvent the wheel as dentists. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you just have to learn to live off a percentage of your income and learn to invest a proportion of your income. You know, I talked about $100,000 a year. That's a lot of money for a lot of people, but it isn't for a lot of people also. We have investors that invest $200,000-$300,000 a year, $400,000 on single deals, but they started by investing $100,000. If you can't invest $100,000, you invest $50,000 a year. If you keep doing it over and over again, using the right strategies, using sound principles, sound fundamentals in your investing, that's the beauty about investing in multifamily real estate. The risk is very low, it's mitigated very well, and we have a high certainty of cash flows. We have a high certainty of building wealth. And that's why this is the best investment, period. Multifamily real estate is the most predictable way to achieve results like what we talked about in this video. If you like this video and you're going to be a multimillionaire through real estate investing, I want you to like, subscribe. If you know any other dentists that you think would love this video or gain some perspective and mindset to shift the things that they need to hear, please share this video. All right, guys, hope you got a ton of value. Click on the next video. We're gonna keep the heat coming and we're gonna keep your bank accounts growing. Let's go. Boom.